नमस्कार. गोवा हेडच्या या पहिल्या भागात तुमकां सगळ्याक येवकार. आणि आज आम्ही जो विषय घेतात तो विषय हो म्हादैचो. इंटरस्टेट रिवर डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन गोवा and Karnataka on river Mhadei. What are the facts? What are the opinions on both sides? We are going to discuss that today, and we have two eminent personalities from either side of the border. गोंयांतल्यान आमचे बरोबर आसात प्रोग्रेसिव्ह फ्रंट ऑफ गोवाचे मेंटॉर हृदयनाथ शिरोडकर. हृदयनाथ, वेलकम टू द शो. आणि कर्नाटकांतल्यान आमचे बरोबर आसात अशोक चंदरगी, who is the president of Belgavi District Kannada Organizations Actions Committee. Ashok ji, welcome to the show. I'll start, Ashok ji, with you. When you look at this river dispute between Karnataka and Goa, what are the major points that you want to highlight, that why Karnataka needs to divert a river which is practically called as lifeline of Goa?
One thing I wanted to make it clear, this issue being discussed since last 4 or 5 decades. First Planning Commission of India has given its nod in 1962 for diversion of scheme for the Kalsa Banduri. After going through so many deliberations, CWC and central government has been convinced there is acute shortage of water in 13 taluka of the 4 district of the Mumbai, Karnataka, and we are demanding only our share in Mhadei. We are not seeking anybody's share. It may be Maharashtra or Goa. There are acute shortage. First, human beings and animals are needed drinking water. That is why, since decades, 2-3 decades, Center has discussed so many times on this issue, and finally, in 2002, it has given its nod for diversion of schemes. But Goa is not understanding the historic relation between Goa and Karnataka. Because of there are thousands of people fought for the liberation of Goa. We have very good concern. We have very good relation with Goa since 1960s. We are not against the interest of the Goa. One thing you should convince Goa, we are not enemies. In day-to-day business, in day-to-day transaction, in day-to-day relations, Goa and Karnataka people are joining hands in so many fields. But Goa is one or other excuse, it delaying tactics, it is adopting delaying tactics in implementing the Kalsa Banduri scheme. But one thing I want to know, whether Goa is trusting us courts, whether Goa is trusting deliberations, whether Goa is trusting negotiations, but they are not trusting anyone. They are not keeping any confidence in anything. Goa has failed to convince it environmental aspect.
Okay, Hridaynath, very simple question. There are some serious allegations being leveled against the state of Goa and the position that state of Goa has taken till now. Do you agree, तुका दिसता की all these positions are fair, the allegations that are leveled by an eminent activist and a senior journalist from Karnataka? How do you look at this issue?
No, I think Ashok ji is very senior and he must be having a wide experience, wide knowledge about Mhadei and Karnataka. But one thing I would like to convey, Mr. Ashok ji and the whole people of Karnataka, that we are not your enemies. Number one, if there is a water shortage, you could have diverted Bani Halla River, which is very next to Dharwad Taluka, which is one of the part Upanadi of Krishna Nadi. Now Mhadei River is an independent river. Malaprabha is a Upanadi of Krishna River. Krishna River is a major river, and if the water shortage problem has been created, it has been created by the failure of Karnataka government. I tell you why. Because the distribution channels which are there in Malaprabha for the diversion or for the usage of water, drinking purpose water, is having tremendous leakage. The assistant engineer, Mr. Sajjan, if you remember, engineer, Mr. Sajjan, had recommended to Karnataka government, instead of building any dam on Kalsa Bandari or Mhadei River, it will be better to build a dam on a Beni Halla. One more thing I would like to explain. Why Bani Halla? Bani Halla area, in every monsoon, it goes under water. The people of Karnataka, the Mhadei Halla area, are affected the most by the droughts, by the floods basically. Now when there is a flood, when there is overflow of water next to Dharwad, why Karnataka government wants Goa's water?
Ashokji, I want to ask you one simple question. You can reply to what Renath has said in a counter to your argument. But one very तुम्ही जो प्रश्न काढला होता की ultimately human beings are important and the needs of human beings are important. What happens with Goa? That Mhadei is called as the lifeline of Goa, not only as far as the irrigation is concerned or the biodiversity is concerned, for every practical purpose, for drinking water, for agriculture, in terms of biodiversity of the Western Ghats, and even river navigation and trade. So, asa asthana, that argument of Hridaynath, you have options. We don't have options. Then ha attahas ka?
Hello.
Yeah, Ashokji, go ahead.
What he's claiming Beni Halla. I know Beni Halla in Dharwad district, nearby Gadag. Once upon a time, there was a proposal to harness the water of Beni Halla. One thing I wanted to make it clear, technical committee had assessed the Beni Halla water and tested the water. It has come to the conclusion it's not fit for the drinking purpose.
Yeah,
2010, I tell you, if you believe Supreme Court, if you believe Tribunal, let the verdict is the final. In 2001, 2002, 2003, total 5 times deliberations took place between the Goa and Karnataka, Maharashtra. Then that is also not acceptable to Goa, and now Tribunal has given its verdict. That is also not acceptable to Goa. Again, they have filed the Supreme Court. Let us wait what Supreme Court says. Ultimately, you may argue one thing, I may argue one thing. Ultimately, whom we have to trust?
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Okay. So your point well taken. Hridaynath,
raising the points outside the court.
Yeah.
Outside the Savanchi had agreed to come to the table, negotiation table, before the Prahlad Joshi and Yedurappa and Savanchi. They are about to talk with across the table. Then suddenly Savanchi get back, withdraw his statement. I am not ready to come to the amicable settlement.
Okay, sir. Ashokji, point well taken. Hridaynath, how do you respond to it? Ashokji is saying Goa went to tribunal. Goa has challenged the order of tribunal in the Supreme Court. What do you want?
Now, first of all, I would like to thank Ashokji because he has said something very important, that Pramodji and their Karnataka Chief Minister already had a setting. So, congratulations and thank you very much. गोवेकरांना तुम्ही काही लक्षात आणून दिल्याबद्दल. Now I'll come to the main point. Going to Supreme Court, going to Tribunal is our right. The person or anybody doesn't have right to change the natural course of water, and that Karnataka is doing. We are against the diversion because it will affect various things. I'll just point out certain things, how it will affect us. The water level since 2002 has been depleted in the Mhadei Basin, number one. Secondly, there is a reduction of honeycombs and honey hives because there is a reduction in flowering of cowrie flowers. Now, the water bodies of the Mhadei Basin have been destroyed. These are the biodiversities on which entire Western Ghat is dependent. Now, the Western Ghat, if it is affected, it will definitely affect the Kali Nadi also, that Karnataka has to remember. Now, what is more important is this Mhadei is not just a river, it is a wildlife sanctuary. In this Mhadei, what we find is the tigers, the largest Sicilian म्हणजे बेडूक जे असतं, the largest Sicilian हे मादईत मिळतं केरी गावात. किंग कोब्रा हा मादईत मिळतो. हे सगळं जे बायोडायव्हर्सिटी आहे, डू कर्नाटका गव्हर्नमेंट वॉन्ट टू डिस्ट्रॉय दिस ऑल द बायोडायव्हर्सिटी? वन मोर थिंग, कुणकुंबी विलेज बद्दल हांव उलयतालो. कुणकुंबी विलेज, कुणकुंब म्हटल्यार बांबू. देर वॉज अ बांबू फॉरेस्ट which had rains like चिरापुंजी. ते बांबू फॉरेस्ट कर्नाटक गव्हर्नमेंटनी कट केलं, त्याची कत्तल केली, जस्ट बिकॉज टू एन्श्योर दॅट शुगरकेन फॅक्टरीज गेट बेनिफिट्स ऑफ दॅट रिव्हर. मलप्रभा सौदत्ती डॅम जो आहे, सौदत्ती डॅम हा त्यांचे रिक्वायरमेंट पुरे करू शकत नाही, कारण मलप्रभेचे तुम्ही पाणीच मारलेलं आहे. अँड इफ यू आर कटिंग, जर तुम्हाला डॅम इथे बांधायचा असेल मादईमध्ये, यू आर डिस्ट्रॉइंग द इकॉलॉजी, यू आर डिस्ट्रॉइंग गोवा.
During 8 years, 2010 to 2018, just to recall whatever arguments by the Goa before the Panchal Tribunal, whether it stood. No, I tell you, finally, Panchal, Justice Panchal, all he heard, he listened, all arguments, every points by the Goa, but ultimately he rejected him. Once we accepted the tribunal, we have to accept the verdict. Now, what I tell?
No, Ashokji, but Karnataka has also challenged the verdict in the Supreme Court. Goa has also challenged the verdict in the Supreme Court. So as far as the judgment,
Karnataka government,
as far as the judgment of the tribunal is concerned, Karnataka government was the first one to go to the Supreme Court. Goa went to the Supreme Court after that.
Please listen me. We are demanding more water. 36 TMC we had demanded before the tribunal. We have been allotted only 13.42. We are demanding more water. That is why we appealed before the Supreme Court.
So it's the same principle. The way Karnataka is not happy. The Karnataka is not happy with the allocation of water. In the same way, Goa is also not happy with the allocation of water.
Karnataka government is not happy with anything. I'll tell you why. Ashokji, I'll tell you why. Ashokji, I'll tell you why.
Why Savanchi agreed before the Prahlad Joshi for amicable settlement? First he had agreed. Later, under the pressure of the Congress, he withdrawn his statement. Still today, we want amicable settlement between Goa and Karnataka, Maharashtra and Mhadei. Let's have
Okay. Rudhanath, 1 minute. Ashokji, just a simple point. Ashokji, just a simple point.
Why Savanthi is getting back?
Okay, Ashokji, fair point, very fair point. Rudhanath, just tell me one thing. Now, this is continuously being told by Karnataka that you wanted a tribunal, now accept the tribunal's judgment that intra-basin diversion is okay with Mhadei. How do you defend that? Now we have gone to the Supreme Court, Goa has challenged the verdict in the Supreme Court, but how do you defend the primary argument that you have argued before the tribunal? This is the verdict you have got. Now you have challenged the verdict in the Supreme Court, but you have made your arguments and then tribunal reached at a certain decision. Ashokji, I will come to you. Let Rudhanath reply, I will come to you. Ashokji, I will come to you. Let Rudhanath reply, I will come to you. Ashokji, I will come to you.
Only 13.42 TMC.
Ashokji, point well taken. Let Rudhanath reply, then I will come to you. Yeah, Rudhanath, go ahead.
Yeah. So with regards to verdict, when we go before any court, I will not get what I want, and if I don't get what I want, I will definitely challenge it before the higher court. That has been done by Goa government. It has been done lately. But it has been done. So nobody can say that why you are going to Supreme Court, why you are going to tribunal, all those things, nobody can challenge that. Now, what I want to say is Karnataka government is not happy with anything. They are not happy with anything. I'll tell you why. Because Forest Department of Karnataka had proposed to make Mhadei as an eco-sensitive zone. Gadgil Samiti, Kasturi Ranjan Samiti had also said that Mhadei should be an eco-sensitive zone. Now, when two committees and the Department of Government of Karnataka itself says that Mhadei should be declared as eco-sensitive zone, why the government of Karnataka is not declaring so? Number one. Secondly, when the work was started by Karnataka government, just remember Ashokji, when the work was started by Karnataka government, Karnataka Forest Department had filed an FIR against their own government for violation of Forest Act. If this is so, then why government is doing all these things? This is all politics, and just because of political issues, they are creating nuisance. I call
Okay,
it
with that
nuisance.
point, Ashok ji, you tell, for final thing, you tell me one thing, very, very simple question. If Karnataka has its own sources, resources of water, the general perception is that you are using that water to please the sugarcane lobby. And now you want Goa's lifeline to
absolutely.
divert and
That
under
is
the guise of you want it for the
absolutely
farmers.
wrong.
How do you
It's
defend that?
absolutely wrong. We are demanding only for drinking water purpose. Only drinking water purpose. We are not pleasing any sugarcane.
Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong,
Nothing doing.
Ashokji.
We are only
Ashokji, absolutely
13
wrong.
taluka
I'll
four
come
district.
to
They have
that.
acute shortage of water. That is the only reason we are demanding. We have nothing to do with any sugar factory.
Hridaynath, you agree with this? Hridaynath, you agree with this?
Absolutely no. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. The area that is Gadak, which this Karnataka want to divert Mhadei water, Karnataka want to develop a high level industrial projects in Gadak. Now, when there is a high level industrial project, and those industries are the sugarcane industries, only to benefit those sugarcane industries, and sugarcane lobby is pressurized into government
Absolutely
to divert this water.
Absolutely
So
false.
this water is not for drinking purpose. This is entirely for sugarcane.
Okay, Hridaynath, Ashok ji, reply quickly. I'm out of time. Ashok ji, quickly reply to that. I'm completely out of time, but quickly, if it is not for sugarcane lobby, if it is only for drinking purpose, are you saying that you don't have any other sources of water for the drinking water purpose? And you have to divert the only river on which Goa survives.
Yes, I want to you people to I wanted to invite you journalist and all those things to the Gadag. Whatever he is arguing and the false information, sugarcane lobby, industry is nothing to do with. We are only demanding for the drinking water purpose of the 13 taluka port.
Okay.
I humbly request
Karnataka government in the history, they want to drink Kaveri water, they want to drink Krishna water, and now they want to drink Mhadei water. This shouldn't be allowed. Nobody has right over the natural course of water. Natural course has been given by the God, and you are challenging God.
Okay, Hridaynath, Ashokji, I'm completely out of time. I think the primary objective behind this program was to put all points on the table and in proper perspective. I think both of them have put forth their own arguments. What happens in the Supreme Court needs to be seen. But mage ek gazal itli सांगचीशी दिसता, if a state has only one river on which it is dependent, its biodiversity, its drinking water, its irrigation, its trade, its river navigation, and if somebody wants to divert that only source of water, then you are going to put a small state like Goa into huge crisis. Is that affordable? And is that logical? Thanks a lot for watching this broadcast. Go ahead.